Did you know that since 1987, more than 30,000 children in Africa have been abducted? Also, 2.1 million people have been displaced, all due to the rebel leadership of one man, Joseph Kony. Have you heard of him? Invisible Children is an organization that is set out to put a face to the disastrous individual and make sure that everyone in America and across the world is aware. Kony 2012 is the film and campaign started by Invisible Children to do just that. Today, I want you to learn just who Joseph Kony is, the goal for Kony 2012, and to raise awareness for the United States' continuous support for this program. Joseph Kony is the world's worst war criminal, and Kony 2012 aims to make Joseph Kony famous, not to celebrate him. They just need our help to spread the word and our support for his arrest. Just who is Joseph Kony? Starting in 1987 with a combination of his background in military knowledge and religious beliefs, he took over leadership of a rebel group and renamed it the Lord's Resistance Army, otherwise known as the LRA. The LRA has earned its reputation for cruel and brutal tactics, including abduction, rape, and killing of civilians, including children, virtually enslaving them. The LRA is no longer active in northern Uganda, where it actually originated, but it continues to campaign its violence in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Central African Republic, and South Sudan. According to KonyNews2012.com, within its 26-year history, as I mentioned before, the LRA has abducted more than 30,000 children and displaced 2.1 million people, and that's an astronomical figure. Invisible Children is working towards the Stop Kony movement for 9 years to end Africa's longest-running armed conflict. According to CNN, U.S. military advisors are currently deployed in Central Africa on a time-limited mission to stop Kony and disarm the LRA. If Kony isn't caught this year, the window will be gone. Awareness is key. If people know about the crimes that he has committed over the past 26 years, they will unite to stop him. We want him to be well known so that he is stopped. He will be a visible example of international injustice. Other war criminals will be then aware that their mass atrocities will not go unnoticed or unpunished. This movement has the support of people all across the country. Myself and many of my friends are strong supporters of this organization and want to see Kony taken down. The movement is supported by many familiar faces too. 20 stars, referred to as the culture makers, support Kony 12 because when they speak, people listen. Such stars include Oprah, Lady Gaga, George Clooney, and many more. Their opinions matter to many people across the country. Also, 12 policymakers are supporting Kony 2012 campaign, including former presidents such as George Bush and Bill Clinton, congressmen and women, and also the Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney, and many more. When these people agree on something like this, change actually happens. In the Kony 2012 film, the team interviews actual children that Joseph Kony has personally affected in the LRA. The girls he kidnaps, he makes into sex slaves, and the boys he transforms into child soldiers, forcing them to kill their parents and often forced to disfigure the faces of other children just for Kony's enjoyment. In the video produced by Invisible Children, it is stated that Kony is #1 most wanted in the International Criminal Court. And there are many other war criminals on that list, but he is viewed as the top threat on an international level because the man is just evil. On YouTube alone, the Kony 2012 video has over 83 million hits. As a people, when we hear about injustice, we care. We just don't know what to do about it. The objective is to shine a light onto his name and to make people aware. If a child in America was kidnapped and forced to kill, it would be world news. So that's what needs to be done. It needs to become world news. We must redefine the propaganda that we see every day that dictates who we are and what we do and pay attention to. The goal is to change the conversation as a culture and get the people to ask, who is Joseph Kony? What we do or don't do will affect every generation to come. If you look under your chairs, you guys have a PowerPoint presentation. It says Kony 12 is a film and campaign by Invisible Children that aims to make Joseph Kony famous, not to celebrate him, but to raise support for his arrest and set a precedent for international justice. Also, Joseph Kony The only way we're going to stop him is if we know him. The goal to change the conversation as a culture and get the people to ask, who is Joseph Kony? There are many organizations that are trying to claim Invisible Children as a scam and are only trying to get money out of you, claiming that U.S. Africa Command has been trying to stop Kony for years, which only results in failure and retaliation from Kony. Granted, he's a war criminal. He's going to attack back. And according to KeepItTrill.com, stories say that Invisible Children is in favor of direct military intervention, and their money supports Ugandan government's army and various other military forces. Well, yeah, what's so wrong with that? How does that seem like a scam? They aren't hiding where they're sending their money, so that shouldn't seem so sketchy. Since he's a fugitive in Africa, it only makes sense that the proceeds would be going towards the Ugandan government in order to further promote his arrest. They obviously can't do it alone, and the U.S. has the training and the supplies in order to help. All in all, Invisible Children uses film, creativity, and social action to end the use of child soldiers in Joseph Kony's rebel war and restore the LRA-affected communities in Central Africa to peace and prosperity. Now that you know who Joseph Kony is, what Kony 2012 is all about, it's up to you whether or not you want to support Invisible Children's effort to put a stop to what is going on in Africa. Again, I'm not asking for a donation. It's more than that. You should choose. If you choose to believe, then we must all spread the word in order to trash the name of Joseph Kony. This is our year to prove that his evil deeds will be punished and the LRA will be shut down. And if you look on the last page of the PowerPoint, it's called The Pledge. Joseph Kony is one of the world's worst war criminals, and I support the international effort to arrest him, disarm the LRA, and bring the child soldiers home. Do you agree?